Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel, I'm a former Boeing 737 pilot, and today let's do a quick fun hop with AeroItalia's Boeing 737-800 from Rome Fiumicino to OpX new Olbia scenery. We're standing here on an outside position in Fiumicino, which is where the real flight parked on the flight they just operated today on this route. So we are going to try and do it as realistic as possible. It's going to be runway 25 for our departures, and there's a little specialty about departures in Rome, but we'll talk about that as we go along. So let's follow inside for our Boeing 737. And here we are. So I just wish we could open that flight deck door, but here we are. Okay. I did try to configure the plane as good as possible with things like the analog standby instruments, the old MCP, or they even have the windows on the top, which is something that I really haven't seen in a while, those eyebrow windows. In any case, let's go ahead and power the plane up. So okay, I'm going to set the park and brake here straight away. A little hard to do that squib test here in the sim, but it's eventually going to work. Okay then, so our basic setup is done. Let's go ahead and download the flight plan to decide on our fuel figure, and then we can go ahead and do the rest of our work. So in terms of the fuel, let's first check the weather to make sure that everything is good. So our destination Olbia reports a couple of gusty winds, but pretty much down the runway. It's a runway 23 over there, and apart from that we've got our alternate, which is really good. And then we can, of course, always just come back to Fiumicino if we need to. So, in terms of the fuel then, looking at this, let's see, alternate fuel, we, for Fiumicino, need about 400 kilos more. So, hey, if we just take this and add the taxi fuel, we end up with 5.3. Let's make it 5.5, then we should have sufficient fuel for a diversion back to Fiumicino if we need to as well. Okay, so enter RS position. Yeah, you can wait with that, my friend. Okay then, fuel truck 5,500. Okay, start the refueling, please. And with the refueling now in progress, let's go ahead and turn on a couple of pumps and lights, and then we can go out for the walk around. Okay, in the meantime, let's go ahead and request our boarding. Did I just miss something? Request boarding. No, it works. Okay, perfect. Okay then, follow me outside as we do the walk around. Right from the top of the stairs down here. Alright, and that's it, our AeroItalia Boeing 737. Looks really neat, doesn't it? I like the livery, I really like it. Okay, top probe is good. Captain's pitot probe is looking good, AOA vane looking good. Then we can have a quick look into the nose gear bay, make sure that there is no evidence of a bird strike or anything over here. Also a quick look over the tires, which are looking good on this side and on this side. Okay, from the front, the plane is looking good and straight. Nobody did a hard landing and bent the plane. That's very good. That's very good indeed. Okay, so FO and standby pitot probe looking good, AOA vane looking good, external power panel looking good as well. Nobody accidentally kept it open and flew with it. No, that never happened to me. Absolutely never. Neither did the neither did the air stair access panel. Okay, static port is looking good, and over here as well. Okay, caution at work, we don't want to run into any vehicles or something. Air intake looking good, no evidence of a bird nesting there. and the engine is looking good as well. In the real world we check all the leading edges of all the fan blades. In the sim this shall do. Okay, no evidence of an engine pod strike either. Okay then, let's go over, check the leading edge of the wing. Make sure the lights are working, all of them. So you can see over here, it's two pairs of 2 lights each. And if one is inoperative, that's not a problem. But if both are broken, then we can't fly. The same for the nav light over here. Okay, boarding has started already, very good. So it's fueling and boarding. Okay then, on the wheels. The wheels themselves are looking good. The brake wear pins are looking good as well. Then a quick look at the front of them. And again, same thing over here. And again, no evidence of a bird strike. Okay, quick look into the wheel bay. I noticed they can replace those light bulbs. It's rather dark in here. Okay, but no evidence of a hydraulic leak or anything. The hydraulic reservoir is looking good as well. Okay, perfect. Then we can continue to the back of the plane. Oops, let's just go beneath here. Okay, the APU air intake is looking good, no damages. Likewise is the outflow valve. Then I look at the leading edge of the stabilizer, and up here the elevator fuel probe is looking good as well. Okay, APU exhaust looking good as well, no signs of fire or anything. And the plane has no sign of tail strike. Alright then, 3 static wick discharges on the elevators, or on the stabilizer I should say. Just like it should be. Then quick check on the opposite side. Brake wear pins looking good, the wheels are looking good, no damages, no signs of a bird strike over here. Quick look into the gear bay. And up here we would be checking the pressure of the engine fire bottles. And quite important, that little pin down here is visible as well. If that pin gets torn off, for example because of a blown tire that's being retracted, with pieces of rubber still flying around, if that pin gets torn off, the gear retraction is going to stop immediately, so that no sign of tire debris can damage anything in the wheel well, since pretty much all important components of the airplane are going through there. Okay then, there is no sign of a bird strike, the lights are working. Lights are working here as well, and again, checking the leading edge, making sure that there is no sign of bird strike here either. Engine, looking good on the bottom, no scratch marks. And the fan blades are looking good as well, and the landing lights are as well. Okay, and with that we're pretty much done. Now comes the challenge of quickly running up the stairs before all the passengers are getting up there. That's always the most annoying thing, when the passengers are queuing on the stairs and you're standing there trying to get into the airplane. But okay, today our 737 is looking good and ready to fly. So let's go right back into the cockpit. Okay, so everything looking good over here. Then let's go ahead and start our procedures. Refueling is done by the looks of it, so let's turn on the seatbelt sign. What's the temperature? Plus 15, very good. So we don't need any air conditioning. Alright, so 737-800, operating program 87, database is current. Very good. Then RS position is set, flight plan request, we'll take it from SimBrief. Select. Only the call sign here seems to be wrong. That should be 139 Victor. AeroItalia 139 Victor, I should say. Okay, let's give it a moment to load up the route. Okay, route uplink loading. Okay, so Alpha Echo Zulu 139 Victor. Okay, so departing runway 25, and now comes the fun of it. Which of those thousands of seats are we going to use? So let's try and make sense of it. First of all, we're flying towards Esino via the Esino 7 hotel departure. So let's first of all have a look at that one. Provided we can even find it. When you see Esino 7 hotel, do scream. Here it is. Okay, so that's starting from Sosak. So now we need a Sosak transition of runway 25. So we can start at the top once again. Let's have a look. Sosak. Okay, that looks about like it, huh? Sosak 5 Delta. Could that be our sitting question? Yeah, leading to Esino 7 hotel. Do we have any notes over here if we can actually use that? Yeah, looks good. Okay, so we'll pin this one, and then down here we have the Esino 7 hotel. We're going to pin that as well. Alright, very good. So Sosak 5 Delta it is. I do believe they are sometimes using the alphas as well, but we'll go for the Delta. Sosak 5 Delta. Okay, and then Esino 7 hotel transition. And for the arrival, it's an ILS approach runway 23. Then let's have a look into the chart again via Guitry for Lima arrival. Here it is, Guitry for Lima and out of Millis. Okay, can activate that. Then on to the performance. Let's go ahead and request that one as well. Provided that it works. Interesting, looks like it doesn't. Okay, then we'll just type it. Not a problem. Okay, so diversion is, let's make that 3 tons for alternate plus final reserve. 0 fuel weight forecast at 61.9. And flight level 250 is the planned level. That's quite a bit above the trip altitude, but it's going to be fine. We'll see about it. Okay, average wind 320 at 40. And top of climb outside air temperature is minus 32. So it's 2 degrees warmer than the ICAO standard. Okay, 6001 going in here. Very good, executing that. Okay, speed 250 below 100 is looking good. For the rings, we'll just put it around Fiumicino Airport with a 25-mile ring, which is for our engine outset as well. Okay, perfect. So that's our initial FMS setup complete. Then let's start with the rest of our systems. How can you tell I'm flying the Airbus now? I'm starting bottom to top, compared to Boeing, who wants to go top to bottom. Well, I should probably just do the Boeing procedures in order to remember them. Okay, field elevation should be pretty low, but let's see, that's probably not even... Oh yeah, there it is. 37. Yeah, so give me 50. Do have maintenance over here. No longer need the wheel well lights. So initial climb, let's see if there's something on the chart. Probably there isn't. I do suspect that... yeah, there isn't. But normally I believe they clear the 6,000 over here. We'll see. For now I'll just pre-select 6,000 and then we will just see about it. Okay, let's see. The runway heading is going to be 247. Like that. And I'm going to select that on the courses as well. Even though in case of an immediate return we'll probably land a runway 18, but for now let's just go for it like that. Okay, fuel quantity, oil quantity is looking good. Hydraulic quantity is looking good. Fuel quantity is looking good. Fuel flow reset. Let's see, what's the latest weather? QNH 1018. Like that, and on the standby unit as well. to go. 1018. Perfect. Then we need an MFRA, which is probably going to be 1,000 above the ground, so I'll just pre-select 1,100. Oh, sorry, 1,010. Okay. So, here we go. Alright then. I'll just do the FO side as well. Doesn't matter. Okay, a light test. Let's see what doesn't work this time. Only the pack lights, it seems. That is known, however. They will work on that. Okay, then comms. I'll just do 1228 on COM 1 and 215 on COM 2. We are not flying online today, so we don't need to worry about all this lovely stuff. Here we go. Okay, for the navs, do we have any local VRR, anything we could tune? Nah, all are enough. Okay. Well, let's just grab an approach chart then. Okay, Ostia 14.9. Let's go with that. It's just good to have something, even though it's not needed here. Okay. So, that's pretty much everything completed as far as I can tell. Let's just have a quick look into here. So first level of 6,000, then let's just put 60 in at Esino. Like that. Should be good. Is there any speed restriction? Yeah, 200 on the initial turn. And our clean speed is going to be just above that. Okay, doesn't matter. That's fine. Alright. So, let's just go ahead and grab a taxi chart. This is gonna do. And then I'd say oxygen test. Looking good. Okay, are you ready for the departure brief? So, threats for the departure. Well, don't really see anything, to be honest. Should be just a standard departure. No threats. Okay, so route check. Let's see, here we go. Unable cruise out, yeah, we'll deal with that later. Lima India Romeo Foxtrot to Lima India Echo Oscar. Departing to 5 Esino 7 Hotel to Esino. Zulu 924 Gitri for Gitri arrival. Ground distance should be 183 and we have 181. Perfect. 4.1 remaining versus 3 required, so about 20 minutes extra. UTC time 12:06, altimeter 1018, reading 1010, reading 10, MFR 8, 1010. Flight directors are on, minus master, standby instrument set. Flight C takeoff 25, flights 5, noise abatement 2, and we have no special procedures. So, engine out straight at 25 miles, that's over the water, so 3,000 feet is going to keep us safe. Above 80 knots, I will only reject for engine fire warning, engine failure, predictive wind shear warning, aircraft unable, unsafe to fly. If I call stop, I will simultaneously close the thrust levers, disengage the auto throttle, apply maximum manual braking or verify operation of the RDO auto brakes. I'll manually raise the speed brake lever and apply max reverse thrust. When the aircraft comes to stop, I set the parking brake. And if you call stop, I will note the brakes are on speed and call speed brakes up or speed brakes not up and thrust reverse normal indications. I'll call 100 knots, 80 knots, 60 knots and the runway distance remaining. Verify your actions and call your emissions. I will call auto brake disarm and select flaps 40 when the brake has been set and advise ATC of the reject. We then identify the failure and carry out any drills as appropriate. If we decide to evacuate, we read and do the evacuation checklist. Time permitting, we'll pull the CBRCB, you grab the lid and then we get out. And if the call before we want us to keep going, there will be no actions below 400 feet except to cancel any warning and raise the landing gear with a positive rate. At 400 feet, verify heading select and carry out the memory items. At the MFRA, buck up, retract flights on schedule, flaps up no lights, select level change, MCT, engage the automatics, non-normal checklist, normal checklist, PIOC NITS PA, and then we are done. Okay, so, let's say hello to the passengers. Buongiorno, ladies and gentlemen, from Flight Deck, this is your captain speaking. My name is Emanuel, and in the name of AeroItalia, you're all welcome aboard our flight to Olbia. Flight time today about half an hour at a cruise altitude of 25,000 feet. We would like to say thank you very much for being our guests today. It is going to be a smooth flight, and we expect an on-time arrival. Now, the cabin crew is shortly going to point out the safety features on board the 737-800 aircraft. I would like to ask to pay your full attention, as that is not just for your own safety, but also for the safety of the passengers sitting around you. Once again, thank you very much for your attention, and welcome aboard. I'm not going to do the Italian PA, otherwise it's just going to end up with a lot of cazzo in it. Okay, safety inspection checklist, and before start checklist, down to the FMC, please. Services chocks, checked, maintenance status, checked, battery on, electric hydraulic pumps on, landing gear lever down, ship's library checked. Iris mode selectors, nav, gear pins, we've got 1, 2 and 3 removed. Probe covers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 removed. Light test, checked, oxygen, test 100%, yaw damper, on, nav transfer and display switches, normal and auto, fuel, 5,300 required, 5,500 on board, and 4 pumps on. Cabin utility IFE on, emergency exit lights armed, fasten belts on, window heat on, air conditioning and pressurization, PAX auto, bleeds on, set, pressurization mode selector, auto, instruments, cross checked, auto brake, RTO, hydraulics, normal, speed brake, down detent, parking brake, set, step from cutout switches, normal, radius radar, wheel well fire warning, checked, radius radar and transponder, set and standby, radar and aileron trims, free and 0, takeoff briefing, discussed, PA, complete, holding at FMC CDU. Alright, so boarding should be completed by now, so let's go ahead, we'll start up the APU, and then let's do our takeoff performance. So, Fiumicino 25, we'll import from the aircraft, we'll import the weather, and then calculate. Alright, it's going to be full rating at 52 degrees. Now come on, we can do takeoff 2 as well, can't we? Yeah, takeoff 2, 30 degrees. That looks good to me. Okay, zero fuel weight, 61.9. So we're exactly spot on. Very heavy. Okay, 22k, 30 degrees, 91.5, 91.5, very good. Okay then, so it is a flaps 5 takeoff. We'll take the default CG, which gives us 6.2 units of trim, and that matches with the EFB. And then our takeoff speeds are 140, 142, 148. And that is all within 1 knot, so we can use our FMC speeds here. Okay, 148. Set. Alright. Unable cruise out. Yeah. We'll talk about that later. We'll deal with that in flight when we actually know how far it is. Okay, cool. So, that is our preparation completed. So, let's see. APU is available. Okay, starting the timer for the bleed. And then they can remove all the good stuff on the ground. Parking brake is set, chocks can go. So, prepare position. We don't need a pushback really, we just need the ground services to drive away. And that is all. Okay, doors are closed. Cabin is secure by now. Okay, complete the checklist please. FMC CDU, set, M1 IS box, automatic. Reduce 22k, speeds 41, 42, 48 set, stop trim 6.2 set, performance weight and balance, sign send, phones off, EFB, airplane mode stowed, flight awareness and cockpit door, locked, doors closed, passengers seated, before start checklist complete. Alright, let's grab the clearance. Ground, Buongiorno, AeroItalia 1... What are we? 139 Victor. Request startup and clearance. AeroItalia 139 Victor, startup approved, cleared to Olbia via Sosat 5 Delta Isino 7 Hotel, climbing 6000, squawk 5110. Readback correct, startup approved, and call you for taxi. AeroItalia 139 Victor. Okay, so Sosat 5 Delta, Isino 7 Hotel, climbing 6000 and squawk 5110. Very good. And 6000 is set in here as well. That's probably the reason why it tells us we can't do the cruise level. But it's alright. Okay, cool. Ground cockpit, go ahead. Please confirm all doors and hatches are closed, ground equipment removed, and bypass pin is installed. Okay, so we can confirm ground equipment removed, bypass pin installed, and equipment is and doors and hatches are closed. Roger, so startup is approved, and we'll start in sequence 2 then 1. Before start checklist below the line, air compacts off, anti-collision light on, parking brake set, transponder alt off, before start checklist complete. Okay, starting engine 2. N2. Oil pressure. N1. That's going very quick in the PMDG. I really hope that will be fixed in the future. Okay, it looks like we are getting a good start on engine number 2. Ground cockpit, we've got a good start on 2. Can we start 1? Yes, sir, can start 1. Roger. Okay, the first click you just heard was the voice recorder going into auto, and the second one is the starter coming off. Okay, starter cutout, monitor 2, starting 1. And I will isolate a pack, let's give them a little bit of air in the back. Normal start time is about 42 seconds, the PMDG takes like 55 or so. So that shows you, it takes a bit long. N2, oil pressure, N1. Okay, by now the start should be finished. So as I mentioned, it does take a little longer. Okay, starter cutout, monitor 1, 2, it should be 4, 6, 3, engine 1 stable. Ground cockpit, go ahead. 2 good starts, clear to disconnect, clear signal on the left side with a pin, and have a good day. Bye-bye. Okay, the pin is seen. Flight control check. Full up, full down, full left, full right, neutral. Rudders, full left, full right, neutral. Okay, unable 200 knots at waypoint 777, not a problem. It's a maximum 200 knot restriction, not an exactly. Okay, after start checklist. Generators on, APU off, start switches continuous, probe heat on, anti-ice off, air conditioning, PEX auto, bleeds on, isolation valve auto, flaps, 5 required, 5 selected, and the green light. Step trim 6.2 required set, start levers, idle turn, flight controls checked, recall checked, before taxi checklist complete. AeroItalia 139 Victor, request taxi. So, AeroItalia 139 Victor, taxi holding point runway 25 via out here, over here, and Bravo. Okay. So, clear left side, clear right side, config, checked. Okay then, straight out over here, and then it is going to be a slight right turn. And then over here we'll go left on Delta and then right onto Bravo. They have that standard taxi system that when an airplane is coming down here from the runway 18 left, they go southbound via Delta. So Delta is always in that direction here. That's why we gotta make that little U-turn over here, finding our way onto Bravo. Okay then, getting clear at the apron, and once we're clear we can start with the before takeoff checklist down to the line. But first things first, gotta get clear of that apron at first. It looks somewhat strange to have those eyebrow windows, doesn't it? I mean, we haven't seen those in a long time in the 737s. Okay then, and over here we'll go to the left. This side over here, however, I've seen a lot of times. I flew to Fiumicino a lot when I was still on the 737. Though I have to say I don't really miss it because it is an airport that's really prone to delays. You get to the gate, nobody there, and then you're wondering how on earth am I supposed to do a 25-minute turnaround here. And they even did like plan like 35 minutes, but still no chance. You would always be delayed when you go here. I suppose that attitude prevents a lot of burnouts though, so it definitely has its good thing. Okay then, over here, and then when we are on Bravo, we can go ahead with the checklists. Okay, clear left side, clear right side. And here we go. Okay, before takeoff checklist down to the line. Config, checked, flaps, 5 green light, step trim, 6.2 set. Takeoff briefing. Left C takeoff runway 25, flaps 5, noise abatement procedure 2, and we are going to buck up at 1500. Takeoff speeds 141, 142, 148 set, and it is PAX auto, bleeds on, anti-ice off. The sit straight out, left hand turn, and we are going to climb initially to 6000. Further with ATC clearance. In case of emergencies, we are going to fly straight at 25 miles, that's out over the open water, so we can simply climb 3000 feet and we will be safe over there. Okay. Any questions? No? Very good. Cabin secure, before takeoff checklist complete down to the line. Okay then, reaching the holding point. Clear left side, clear right side. Cabin crew, prepare for departure. Clear on the approach. Clear on the left. Before takeoff checklist below the line. MCP. Set. Transponder. Tara. Strobe lights on. Landing lights on. Before takeoff checklist complete. Okay, ready? Timing. Stabilized. Set takeoff thrust. Takeoff thrust set, indications normal. Checked. Gear up. LNAV. Command A. Okay, Buck 200. Flaps 1. Speed checked. Flaps 1. So the 200 restrictions all the way until 786. Thereafter we can start accelerating. In the meantime then, climb flight level 120. Set. 120 checked. Set standard. And we're above the MSA, so we can reselect our standby altimeter as well. Standard cross-check passing level 39 now. Checked. Okay, back up. Flaps up. Speed checked. Flaps up. Flaps up, no lights. Okay, we're in standard already after takeoff checklist. Air condition and pressurization, 2.6, climbing. Set. Altimeters. Standard, passing level 6-1 now. After takeoff checklist complete. Okay, VNAV. And clear that out intervent. Back to VNAV. Don't descend, my friend. Here we go, that's looking better. Okay, climb all the way, flight level 250. Set. 250 checked. And 250 is now set. Once, twice, and 3 times. Monitoring 1 to 1.5. Alright, we're out. But I'm afraid it's just going to be a very short time to relax. Once we're above 100, we can already start with our approach preparation, as it is really just a short half-an-hour flight that we're doing. But, for now, we are doing good. Okay, so just 16 miles to Asino, and thereafter, not that much longer, until we are going to enter our star already. Altimeters, passing 100, climbing 250, 10 checks. Fuel balanced, 4 pumps on, lights off, APU off, air conditioner and pressurization, 4.2, climbing, set, fasten belts. Yeah, let's put them to auto. Okay, recall, checked, and monitoring 1 to 1.5, 10 checks complete. So, what is the deal? Top of climb, top of descent. Interesting. Probably ain't gonna happen that way. But I'll tell you what, let's ask ATC for a cruise at level 210 or something the likes. Here we go, 210 is in. Gives us at least a little bit of a cruise segment here. Set and set. Overall, we don't want to fly ballistic, do we? Even though it's interesting, the real flight did. I did monitor it on Flight Radar 24, and they went up, and 30 seconds later they went down again. So, I don't know what they were thinking there. Probably our traffic control, I don't know, needed them higher, needed them lower first, I don't know. Even though what the FMC showed really did match what the real flight did there. So, not sure. Really not sure. But okay, we're up, we're airborne. It's looking really neat, that plane, isn't it? Sometimes I do miss the 737 a little bit, even though the A330 still is, wow, just that bit better of an airplane. Okay, so let's go straight back inside, and yeah, with 45 miles to the top of descent, you have controls, I have control. Okay, let's go for the descent preparation. So, arrival, start, get 34 Lima, that was quick. Approach, ILS 23, quick look at the latest weather. 230 at 15, 17 degrees, 1019. So almost no change there. Okay, and the airport chart and the parking stands. So this is where things are gonna get interesting. Now we just gotta find that chart in first place. Look at that. I really don't know why it's doing this, but it's not just the PMDG, it's a couple other aircraft as well that are showing similar behavior. Okay, 233 both sides, triple 1.3 for the ILS. Local VOR Smeralda is 13.9. Tell you what, I'll just put that active for now. But we don't receive anything. Very good. Not. Okay, that much about it. So minimum Cat Charlie is 390. Vertical speed. 2,000 to go. Okay, here we go. Minimum 390. Is in very good. Okay then, I do suppose, do we have any sensible restriction here to get us straight in? Let's just do some mathematics here. Millis behind, I don't know, Abidu, what does that give us? 250 knots, level 100. Well, then we'll just put level 100 in here. Okay, so 250, forecast, request, QNH reset is 1019, we can already insert that. And the transition altitude 60, yep, then the transition level of 70 is correct that the plane has in the air. Okay, load that up. And here we go. Okay, runway 23. Then we need a 10-mile ring. And if I remember correctly, it was cap OK, so No, fuel cloud 3,500. So 4-mile ring is going to do. Very good. Okay, cool. So that's about it. Reached our cruising altitude. VNAV. Conset. So, last thing before we can start our preparation, let's go to the landing en route. Olbia 25, import aircraft details. That weight is a little high probably. Let's see, burning 700. No, it's correct. Okay, cool. So, looking good. Okay. Are you ready for the approach briefing? Before we do that, however, let's just get descent clearance. Descending like flight level 100 or so. Here we go. Okay, cool. So, threats for the arrival. There's high terrain around the airport. I'm using the terrain display in order to cover for that. Apart from that, I don't see any threats. Well, maybe bird strike, since we are pretty close to the coastline on final approach. So if a bird strike happens, we are going to follow the procedures from our operations manual A, which basically says that if the approach can be kept stabilized, we can continue without any configuration change. If we go around, then we are using flaps 15 for the go around, even though it is going to be single engine. And then we'll think about what we're going to do next. But if the approach can be kept stabilized, we are just going to continue the approach like that. Okay then, so we've got 250 below 100, the forecast page is in, fixed range runway 23, 10 miles, 4 miles. For the arrival itself, we have the Gitry for Lima arrival, which we can find over here on the chart, and Gitry for Lima basically is from Gitry. Here we go. Towards Echo Oscar 473, then Echo Oscar 475, maximum 230 knots between 6,000 and level 90. Then it's a right hand turn towards Odogi. And Odogi max 220 between 4,000 and 6,000. Then via Echo Oscar 477, maximum 220. Towards MDEC, maximum 220, towards Echo Oscar 479, maximum 220, Echo Oscar 460, maximum, wait a moment, 480, maximum 210, then Litnu 210, Echo Oscar 481, maximum 210, and then Millis, maximum 210. I am going to take that Millis holding out here. We don't plan to fly that for sure. Okay, out of Millis we join the approach, which is going to be the ILS approach onto runway 23. Frequencies, triple 1.3 are set active 1 and 2. Final approach courses 233 selected on both sides. Minimum 390, which is set on both sides as well. Okay, the approach from Millis to Echo Oscar 412 at 3,000 feet, and in here we've got 412 at 3,000, and I am going to insert a 180 knot restriction over there. Okay, 3-degree glide slope down to the minimum, and in case of missed approach, proceed on track 233, climb to 5,000 feet. So that is 232 in the FMS. Over the VOR, turn left, max 185 knots on track 067. So we've got 232 to Sierra Mike Echo. And then we've got a turn on 067 to join radial 098 Sierra Mike Echo to Acrop. And we have 098 towards Acrop. And climbing to 5,000 feet we have as well, plus the speed restriction for the turn. Okay, so that stuff is all in. Cool. We are burning 600 kilograms, 3.6 on the landing, the diversion fuel is 3.0, so that's 15 minutes extra. And I'd say let's just calculate with a fuel burn of 400 kilograms, or maybe even 300 in case we get the shortcut. So 300 off makes 65.8. Okay, and we will take a flap 40 landing. Let's just see what our performance tool says about it. Oh, wrong page. Okay, I was wondering why I couldn't find the flaps. Yeah, no surprise. Okay, here we go. So, landing flaps 40. The rest is looking good. Slightly low on the weight there, but that's okay. Close enough. Okay, 1579. That's fine for me. Alright, cool. So, we're going to vacate the runway to the right, and then we will taxi... Where's the chart? Here it is. Okay. Vacate to the right, and then we'll go just straight to the apron. Probably vacate Echo, and then Golf, Mike, right to the apron. Any questions on the briefing? No? Very good. Okay, fasten belts on. And descent checklist. Pressurization, land out 50. Anti-ice off. Approach briefing fuel discussed. ES and outbox checked and set. Descent checklist complete. Ladies and gentlemen, from flight deck, this is your captain speaking again. We have started our descent towards Olbia, and the remaining flight time is now about 15 minutes. The weather in Olbia currently 17 degrees with a few clouds. We would like to say goodbye to you now and like to thank you for flying AeroItalia. We hope you enjoyed your stay on board, and we look forward to welcoming you again on board a future on-time and scheduled flight. In the meantime, thank you very much for your attention and thank you for flying with us. We wish you a very nice day and, if applicable, a nice and safe onboard journey. Okay, so passengers are dealt with, everything is done. So with that, I would say we are good to go to start the approach. And this would probably be a nice point in time to fly direct to Millis as well. So, Millis, here it is. Execute. Enough available? Enough. And drag required after Millis. Yeah, that's not going to be a problem. Man, it's rather turbulent on this flight here, is it? It's really shaking us. Okay, VNAV is doing 1,000 feet a minute in order to catch back the path. But our path is actually looking quite alright. Let's see, can we see any of that turbulence? Oh yeah, look at that wing. Some do say it is excessive how the PMDG is wobbling the wings, but in some occasions that may be true. However, looking at how we are tossed around in the cockpit right now, when I'm looking at that wing, that actually seems quite alright. So it is quite turbulent out there. Okay, back to the cockpit for now. Speed is at 250 already, very good. Alright, so how long until we land? Can't be too long now. 12:55, so 13 minutes, okay. Man, I can tell you, doing a flight like this, after flying long haul for such a long time, is all of a sudden getting really, really busy. I'm used to flight times in excess of 8 hours, more like 10 or so all the time, and all of a sudden we're 19 minutes into the flight. In the A330 we would be somewhere around flight level, I don't know, 220, 240 now, and in here we are already close to 10,000 feet on the descent. Talk about close to 10,000, let's go ahead and descend to 3. And set QNH 1019 on. (1019) cross check, passing 10,900 now. Checked. Okay, so in the A330, as I mentioned, we do such long flights all the time, but we have got a couple short ones as well. I still didn't get the shortest one, which is only 30 minutes, but I did get like an hour and 30 every now and then. And while in the 737 at an hour and 30 I would have had a lot of time to relax, based on what I was used to at the time, in the A330, a flight like that is like, man, things are going quick over here. And you're on approach before you can even say approach. Okay, altimeters. Passing 10,000, descending 3,000, 10 checks. Fuel balanced, 4 pumps, lights on, angle of bank 25, air conditioning pressurization 4.6. Yeah, is at 0 already. Maintaining and set, fast melts on, recall checked, and 1 to 1.5 deselected. 10 checks complete. Alright, just waiting for the items of the ILS, and then we can go ahead with the approach checks. I don't think this plane is equipped with a vertical situation display. Oh, it is. Okay, good. So that's gonna be for you then, FO. Enjoy that lovely display layout. I hated it. I really hated it. The VSD was a really useful tool, but the rest of the nav display just looked so... Well, I mean, just look at this. That's not what I want my nav display to look like. It gets far too cramped as it just gets too small. However, the good side is only the pilot monitoring is required to bring up the VSD if it is installed, so for the pilot flying, we don't need to worry about that, and we can use our standard nav display layout. So knowing Microsoft Flight Simulator, we're probably going to receive those ILS items exactly 25 miles out. But let's verify it. Fix/25. Wait for it. When we overfly this, we're going to start receiving the ILS. That's down to the nav data implementation in Microsoft Flight Simulator, and due to what Navigraph is writing into their files. Like, in the file there is a maximum range for the ILS included, and Navigraph, as well as Asobo, as far as I'm aware, went down the road to believe that the maximum secured range of the ILS would equal the maximum total range. In the real world, you're usually getting your localizer like 30, 40, 50 miles out. I've seen localizers at 100 miles out, even though I would probably not trust their accuracy. But the ICAO standards for a guaranteed functioning ILS is usually localizer 25 miles out and glide slope 18 miles out. And look at that, we're approaching the 25, and all of a sudden 25.9 we are receiving the ILS. So yeah, the guaranteed reception range, however, is only the range where you can be 100% sure that the signal is going to be correct. Outside that range, it might not be correct. There might be interference from other ILS stations having the same ident. For example, when approaching Cologne from the southwest, you are sharing the ILS frequency with Charleroi, and while you're approaching Cologne, even when you're close, like 30 or 40 miles out, it might be that you still receive the Charleroi ILS so strong that the plane is going to show you the ident of Charleroi and not the one of Cologne. Only when you get really close, inside those 25 miles, that thing is going to change. So, a little misunderstanding there in between Navigraph and Asobo as to how that should be simulated, and for that reason we only received the ILS so extremely late in the sim here. Anyway, we're receiving it now, so let's do the first check. Frequencies, 111.3, fixed rings, around runway 23, 10 miles, 4 miles, idents, Let's just cross-check those on the chart. Okay, India, Quebec, Lima, Bravo. Is that an Oscar? Yeah, that's Oscar. India, Oscar, Lima, Bravo is checked 3 times. Standby instruments, set, and courses 233. Approach checklist. Altimeters and instruments, set and cross-checked. Approach aids, checked and set. Approach checklist complete. Okay, cleared ILS. Approach armed. And then I'd say let's do a little bit of manual flying here. And let's do flat director off. That just makes it a little bit nicer here. And we can also take the auto throttle off. Thank you. Localize our live. Runway heading 233 set. Okay, let's go raw data. Flaps 1. So, speed checked. Flaps 1. Okay, let's work ahead a little bit. Flaps 5. Speed checked. Flaps 5. Okay, 10 miles out, on the glide, on the speed, very nice. 160 knots, so we need something at about, yeah, 900 feet a minute rate of descent or so. Normally the 737 is going to do a very good job maintaining the speed on the glide, but we got a little bit of headwind today, so let's just put in a little bit of thrust here. Okay, go around altitude, 5,000 feet, set. Terrain noted. That's a lot of thrust that we need right now. I would have expected quite a bit less. But the speed is slowly coming back, that's all we can ask for. And terrain noted. Alright, I am going to configure for landing just a mile earlier because of the raw data over here. We can do it at 5 miles as well, but do we really want to put that stress upon us? Okay, gear down, flaps 15. Landing checklist to flaps. Start switches, continuous, recall, checked, speed brake, arm green light, landing gear, down 3 green. Okay, flaps 25. And flaps 40. In the real world, that is so much easier when you've got the pilot monitoring doing stuff for you. In the sim, however, sometimes it's a little hard to keep yourself properly on the ILS when doing checklists at the same time. Okay, let's do the landing checklist again. Start switches, continuous, recall, checked, speed brake, arm green light, landing gear down 3 green, auto brake 3 set, flaps 40, 40, green light, and landing lights on, landing checklist complete. So, now with everything out of the way, we can really focus on the approach. (127 knots over the ground, so we're looking at roughly 650 feet a minute in order to stay on the glide slope. And tell you what, let's just take a couple knots more. 500 continue.
500. Approaching minimums.
Checked.
400. Minimums.
Continue.
300.
Rather turbulent here.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Okay, speed brakes up. Thruster is normal. (100 knots), and we've got 80%, 80 knots, manual brakes, auto brake disarm. Okay, and the rest of it we'll just let it roll out. So 33 minutes flight time. We'll start the timer straight away, even though today we are probably not going to do single engine taxi due to our weight, since we're close to 66 tons. What's that? Master caution engines. Oh, the reverser lights. That is going to mean maintenance. Lovely. So we broke the reversers. Can we still stow them? Yeah, we can. That happens every now and then, that you get the reverser light. Typically it's just a maintenance reset and that's it. So no real damage to the airplane, but always good to note that, and yeah, you'll need the engineers anyway. Okay then, locating the runway. We can do the after landing procedures in a moment, once we're on the straight line. So pretty much now. Okay, that is anti-ice, that's normal. Alright then, we made it all the way to Olbia. Now we just gotta find our parking stand. Here we go, probably something over here, 101 till 103. Let's take 103. Don't need a marshal up. That's fine. APU start. Clear left side, clear right side. The good thing here in Olbia is the general aviation got their own apron, so you need to be a little bit less concerned about a business jet cutting you off. Okay, so that is 101. Over there is our stuff already, so that is good. Then lights off. (102). We'll take the next one. (103), here it is, and there is a marshaller over there as well. Very good. Shutdown number 2. I can't be bothered too much about the left command. GSX just tends to mess your parking up with these things. And here we are. Okay, brake set, 2 blue, 1 red, engines dead. Cabin crew, all doors in park. Oh, lovely, the Throttle engine has just crashed. Okay, so no GSX deboarding, then we gotta use PMDG zone. Okay, both engines below 20%. Transit shutdown checklist. Electrical on APU, fasten belts, off, probe beat, off, anti-ice, off, voice recorder on, air compacts auto, engine bleeds on, APU bleed off, external lights steady, start switches off, auto brake off, speed brake down 10, flaps up no light, parking brake set, start levers cut off, weather radar off, transponder 2000 standby, CBRCV in, cockpit door unlocked, and that's the transit shutdown checklist complete. Alright then, so let's get the ground crew to start the deboarding, and we got him just down here, so it's gonna be ground power from the external. Nah, it's gonna be GPU over here. They won't have anything better in Italy. Okay, so deboarding through jetway. And jetway request. And here it's coming. Okay, you guys can start the deboarding, please. Ground power is available. Here we go. Okay guys, that's gonna be it. Thank you very much for flying along. I do hope you enjoyed this little AeroItalia trip. Something I wanted to do for quite a bit of time, as Italy is such a beautiful country with so many scenic airports like Olbia is, for example. I do hope you liked it. If you did, do let me know in the comments below, and I'm looking forward to see you all again on the next one. In the meantime, be sure to leave a like on YouTube as well, as it does really help the channel, and if you really like what I'm doing, then I would appreciate a small donation through the Buy Me Coffee link in the video description below. Thank you for watching, and see you all again on the next one.